So hi guys, for today I'll be of course uh providing you a demo on how to create um mobile menus and uh, provide comparison on button uh, intent to change the screen and using menu. Okay, menu on your main dashboard or activity. Okay, so I'll just okay, so I'll first explain um, the application that we're going to do. First, okay, so I created a main menu. I named it creating dashboard. This is the name of the project actually. So the project name, we can change that. We can change this by of course changing the name of our project. Okay, by of course creating new project. Okay, so however, I'll just provide you a demo. So I'll giving you a difference. Okay, by of this using button on changing the screen or your page or the layout page of your application. Okay, and of course using the menu. Okay, menu button with okay. And you'll also discover the usage of overriding. Okay, now let's start. I'll just explain the code that and the steps that you should do. So listen carefully. I cannot make this from the scratch video because it will take long because there's a lot of codes. But I will be giving you the source code. Okay. Now let's have an Android. Okay, so let's stop this for a while. Can stop here also. And click this to hide this menu. All right. So first of all, if you created your project on a Kotlin using Kotlin plus Java, okay, you'll create uh, it as an empty. So if it is empty, there will be no um, activities yet, and layout and menu. So these are the files that I added. So first, create three activities by right click new uh, activity. Okay, select empty view activity uh, and then uh, create a launcher activity. So the manifest will create an intent. Okay, here. This will be generated automatically on your home page or the main menu or your main page, and it will be declared as true. Okay, same with the two on creating activity, but uncheck the or leave the launcher activity blank. Okay, and then press finish. Okay, now you have created three activities. Okay. So first is the dashboard. So let's design the dashboard. Okay, so it's so small. So let's hide this. Okay, so This is the welcome dashboard. So I use text file, and also the automatically generated layout is the constraint. So change the constraint to linear layout, and also the closing, okay, closing tag for the layout slash linear layout. Inside of this, okay. So if you change it into layout, make sure that provide an orientation. It will give you an um, error message or alert or notification on your end. Never forget to provide this. And padding is where the size of the padding. So it's 16 dp. I gave a 16. If we increase this into 20, okay, it increases the header or the main menu from the above. So let's try to change it. See, okay. Now put this in your end by creating first in text file, text size, already know this, and in text style, margin button, the margin between the space from the next uh, item, or what we also known called as the palette. Okay, okay. Put this 20 size, bold, margin 20. Okay, and add button. Okay, for transporting to a next page like profile, and a button for the settings. So don't worry, I'll be sending this. This is just a um, quick tutorial. Okay. So here, okay, for the button, we create a variable to call and provide function to the button when user used or interact with the application. So here we find view by ID, and then identify its uh, type, okay, palette type, and then the ID that we provided here, button profile, okay, to call them, and of course to identify them. Same with the settings, because they are the same button, we'll only change the ID since they have different or unique ID. So from the on click, okay, we created the intent and used the set on click using the uh, variable we created to an on click listener. And then inside of this on click listener, we declared an intent where the intent is imported here. So also don't forget to input this um, import. These are important to provide additional functionalities. Now this never type this this is generated. It's like only a guide what is inside. So only type this comma profile activity class dot java, and then intent, calling the variable intent to execute this uh, variable we created, which will which will redirect into profile activity which we created earlier. Okay, but it's blank on the act, uh, Kotlin file, but we should input to identify if we are on the right page, because since this is just a demo. Okay, there. For the settings, I mean profile, we entered profile. Okay, so just to identify them, the page, just to identify the page, because since this is just a demo. Okay, now since we already created and already explained the different, I mean the button presses on intent, now let's move on the menu. Now on menu, okay, just right click the res folder and create a directory. If menu directory is blank, okay, if this is blank or it doesn't have a menu directory, then after when you created the directory for menu, right click once again and new. Okay, new um thing, menu source file, a menu source file, click. Okay, menu root, I just put a file name whatever you want, but I created this main menu. Okay, so this menu is automatically generated. I only add these two. So these two, okay, is where you're going to declare the um what do you call this, options on the menu button, such as this. Okay, we can add another one here. It's like that. There. But of course, we're going to have error because the ID is not unique. Okay. And of course, change the, if you want to change the title or the uh, name of the option, just type Android title profile or my name or whatever you want. Right. So now we're done with this. We're going to provide a function inside of the dashboard activity. Now it's about overriding. So override, once again, okay, just hover this. Okay, so to be more specific, okay, override is to provide an additional function overriding, right? So it's like tampering or editing or adding an additional, I should say, additional action when you override. Okay, so now type this override fun on create menu. Menu is uh, identifying its type. So since this is a menu over here, okay, menu, we call it this menu here, where it is. Oh my God, it's there. Okay. Which is boolean. So boolean is only true or false, and we provided a parameter menu with question mark to provide. Question mark is giving a parameter, just like a variable without a value. So if you want to call this, you just have to call this uh, menu. However, we're already here. since it will automatically generated on create option menu on about these parameters. Okay, so now menu inflator that inflate. Oh, okay, so this is a variable we created, but we imported it here, menu and menu item. Okay, actually, this is the calling of menu of the import, actually, the function from the import. Okay, so inflator is when it's the drop down. Okay, it's the drop down function of the UI UX or the user interface. Okay, so this menu is calling the file where menu is the parameter. All right, so same with the item. Item is the options from the menu. Okay, this is an import once again, and the item is the parameter. Okay, so it's also a boolean where item, okay, stated as an item ID. So the item ID is this item ID. All right. So let's go back. Item ID. Okay. We have two options, the menu setting and menu profile. From the menu ID, we have the settings and the profile. The ID, all right, the ID right there. Now, and then provide an intent. Oops. Intent, same with the button right here. Okay. So basically, the intent is the function where uh, to transport or to transport the user into different activity. And of course, we return true because this is an under the option of the override, where super that on option. Okay, this is a hook called whenever an item in your option menu selected, so it will going to return the uh, execution of either the file or the item. And of course, let's check the manifest that I give you. I also want to explain the manifest. So here are the activities that we create without check or uncheck a launcher. This one is generated a launcher. That's why it will be automatically as a home or the main activity or the home page. Let's just wait a bit. If you see this is Firebase. Okay, you can connect it with Firebase instantly for API or non-SQL databases. Also, there, kaboom. So the same page but different execution using button and the menu. Okay, that's all. Thank you.